Welcome back to TISSNET Prep. It's been a long time that we have not interacted, but finally the TISS has opened its admission form or application form for the courses it's taking admission through CUET PG. So today is 23rd of May. The last day to apply for the particular form or the TISS application form is 15th of June. So you have ample time to apply, think about it, research about the course. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the expected cutoff for the courses of TISS. So it's a little challenging to decide that because there's not been a good number of years of trend because TISS has started taking admission through CUET PG from last year itself. But seeing the competition, the scorecards and the complete rank list, we can still make a calculated guess on it. So definitely we are going to talk about the expected cutoff for each of the course. But before that, what's very important that I wanted to discuss, and I want you to think about it, that earlier there used to be an interview process to gauge the interest of the student in the particular course. But now from this year, there is no interview. So it's all the responsibility of the student to gauge their interest and then apply for the course and check it, right? So definitely because of the asymmetry of information in the students with respect to the so many courses that TISS offers, you may apply to the courses that you have less idea about it. So that's not the mistake that you have to do. You have to be very careful. Just because you have got a very good score, it does not mean that you can take up any course, because getting into the course is comparatively easier with scoring marks, but being in that particular course for 2 years and then further not liking the course and looking for the other career is quite painful. And every year we get many students that they have some impression about the course with respect to the placements, the course curriculum, but they do not exactly find that in the course, and of course that comes as a disappointment to them. So you need to be very clear about what this course is going to offer you and what prospects you have in terms of everything, the whole career path, not just the placement. So most of the student I see have just the question about placements kya hai, number kya hai, package kya hai. So it typically does not work that way in social sciences. It may work in engineering college or an MBA courses, but not the way in social sciences. We'll get back to that discussion later on, but be very careful of very important points that we are going to discuss. So it is not your responsibility to gauge your interest in the course. So the only thing that TISS feels that to show your interest in the course is by paying the fees. So for one course, you have to pay how much? You have to pay somewhere around 900, for 2 course 1800, for 3 course 2700. So this is for the general category. For other category students, there is a slight decrease. So I do have the slide for it. So why not walk over? So this is the fees that you'll have to pay. Maximum you can apply for 3 courses, 900 for each courses. So this is the fees that you'll have to apply. Now, second thing and the most important thing is that there are few courses whose admission is through 2 or 3 different papers. So in that case, how would it be considered? The answer is quite simple, that at the back end, TISS has complete rank list of each of the course that is fetched through the NTA of CUET PG. So let's say a particular course is being taken, or admission to a particular course is through 2 different paper codes, and students apply through 2 different paper codes. One student apply through COQP 11, other student apply through HUQP 21, for example. Then in that scenario, percentile is taken, whatever the percentile of the student in HUQP 21 and whatever the percentile of the student is in COQP 11. So eventually the final percentiles would be taken into the account. I hope this was a major query that most of the students were asking. So this is actually happens, and I believe that is going to happen, because actual scores or the raw scores will not be taken into account, because that would be very unfair. Some paper is slightly difficult, some paper is slightly tough, and every paper is of different nature, right? So it's quite obvious, and I've also attended few sessions by TISS, and they have already mentioned that they would consider percentile. Okay, I hope you have the idea of percentile. That is a ranking in terms of percentage. Anyway, so this is the fees that you'll have to pay. This video may go long, but we are going to discuss very important thing, and it would be quite helpful for you. And I have done a proper research of number of students taking up the course. I do also have the rank list of the major of the courses. So taking everything into the account, this is what I believe. So let's see about the cutoff or the expected cutoff of MSW. So MSW is through 3 paper codes: COQP 11, HUQP 21, that is the core social work, and HUQP 18, that's political science paper. Now, this is the cutoff which I believe. Maybe I'll be wrong. Even if you have slightly less marks than the mentioned cutoff, you should apply, because we do not have the complete trend of at least 4 or 5 years that usually happen. It's a new thing. CUET PG itself is a new thing, but seeing students' preferences, seeing the rank list, and seeing the last year cutoff, I believe that if you have these much scores, you can apply to these particular course, given the consideration that you are liking the course. You have gone through the course structure, you want to pursue the career, because that is completely, that cannot be discounted. So, out of the MSW course, the most preferred one is CODP. It also has the highest number of seats as well, and obviously it will have a slightly higher cutoff. Again, I repeat, if you have less marks than the mentioned cutoff, you should apply, 10, 20, 15 marks. Unless you take the risk, how will you exactly know? This is just a core pure estimation. Now, coming back, moving further. Now, for both HUQP 21 and HUQP 18, interestingly, what I found was almost the scores and the way the student performed in these two particular courses was almost similar. HUQP 21 is MSW, HUQP 18 is Political Science CUET PG paper. So this is the score that I believe for the general category the cutoff should be. Again, I would repeat, if your score is slightly less or more, you can go and check it out. For the other category, you can decrease 5-10 marks and accordingly apply. It would be very tough for me to estimate for the other categories as well. First of all, these two paper codes are new for TISS as well. And how many people would actually apply for TISS, because these two courses, specifically this paper code, are core political science paper codes. So, not many students from the background of political science take up CUET PG for getting into MSWs, right? So they look for the masters in political science or other courses in other universities like DU, JNU. So those are the most preferred courses for them rather than the social work. So all those balance, this is what I feel should be the cutoff for the MSWs for these two particular courses. The video may go long, but bear with it. You have been demanding it for a long time. Now, the School of Management Studies has majorly free courses, and one of the most preferred courses, this I believe should be the cutoff. And slightly less or slightly more, this is an estimation again. So as people have performed not the way that it happened last year the cutoff was very high because the paper was quite easy. This time the paper was challenging. There was also a decrease of time. Not everyone scored that way. Also, the number of applicants taking CUET 12 has fallen drastically. The reason being, which I can obviously say, that HRM and the ODCL course was not into CUET PG this year. So there is a decrease of at least 20,000 number of applicants in CUET 12 from the last year. Roughly around 50,000 took this year. Last year there were roughly around 69,000 people. Anyway, so this is labor studies and practices and this is for analytics course. For the general category, for the other categories, this is what I think of. You can try your luck, and social entrepreneurship, this is the particular cutoff. Again, I would repeat, time and again, I would repeat every time you say, because you must like the course curriculum. You must like the opportunities that the course offers rather than just bare placement. These are not MBA course, though it comes under the School of Management, but this is not related to MBA in any sense. Okay. Now, one of the most preferred courses, and I would really highlight that these courses are preferred by medicos or people from medical background or people from science background of life sciences or zoology, botany, or even pharmaceutical background. Anyway, so this is what I believe should be the cutoff for the one of the most preferred courses of TISS for MPH. There are 3 courses: MPH HA, MPH HPEF, and MPH SE. Again, just because the placements are good, the numbers are very luring, make sure that you really like the course of public health. Normally, medicos are given preference in every aspect. They already have an edge with respect to the syllabus. They already have an edge with respect to the the placements that would be happening. So, if you are non-medico, you should really like the course and love the course curriculum to highest extent possible to excel in the course for 2 years and further in your career. So, just because you have scored very good does not make you applicable or a good candidate for this particular course. Be very careful about it, because you should not waste your 2 years. that's more important than getting admission in any particular course. Now, School of Development Studies in Mumbai campus has just two courses, Development Studies and Women Studies. For Development Studies, I believe the cutoff should be around 220, and for all the other categories, it is quite mentioned. And for the Women Studies, this is the expected cutoff, which I believe. Still, if you have slightly less marks, you can try your luck. You will have to pay 900 for each particular course. Now, School of Education. Again, this course or the courses in this particular school has through many different paper codes. So I have mentioned it, seeing the last year trend, seeing the people who actually opt for it. Again, these are courses which are of core interest. You should have the interest in education. Do not expect that everything should be so easy that you will have placements, companies coming up. It really does not work that way. Okay. So these are the cutoffs. These are respective cutoffs. So SUQP 11, CUQP 11, CUQP 03 and CUQP 15. These are the respective cutoffs. And you can take a screenshot of it. You can share it. You can share this video with your friends and all if needed. Now let's see School of Habitat Studies, one of the most preferred courses again. Again, these are very research based courses. You should have that appetite of research and interest in research if you are taking these courses, because initially you may land up in the courses which requires a good amount of research to be done, and playing with numbers or comprehending numbers in terms of graphs, tables, data, and have a lot of patience sitting on table or even in the groundwork, field work, gathering the data, right? So for ECCSS, the environment, climate change and sustainability, these are the expected cutoff. So it is through two paper codes, CUQP 11 and CUQP 12. For CUQP 11, I predict that it should be 220 and 210, and accordingly for the different categories. Regulatory policy and governance, 210, 200. Again, we come with water policy because it's complete for a particular niche, for it's completely water policy. So it gets down, it's not so generic as development studies or as other courses. So 180, urban policy and governance. So this course was on hold, they have started again. So I feel that they may be at the same level. It's just a mere prediction of seeing the students' interest and the rank list, right? So even if you have slightly less course, do apply. चलो, disaster studies देख लेते हैं. 3 पेपर कोड के थ्रू है, 12, 11 और 9. These are the respective cutoffs. It was very tough to predict the further cutoff because the number of seats are less, new paper codes have been added. Okay, so this is the expected cutoff. These are very focused course, industry focused course. So you should have a good interest. Now for psychology, one of the most preferred course of TISS. Last year cutoff was 275. This year I believe it should be around 270. For the other categories, it is here. Media and culture studies, it is through COQP 17 paper code, right? So now, because this is not the most preferred college for media and culture studies, people look for journalism, IMC and so on. So these are the expected cutoff. You can see even if you have 20 marks, 30 marks less, you can try your luck. Okay. Library science, again through just COQP 11. These are the expected cutoff. LLM access to justice, one of the most preferred 1-year LLM course at TISS. These are the expected cutoff. This is through COQP 14. This is through CO. Now let's see about Tuljapur campus. So Tuljapur campus, there is just one course which is being offered, I believe, and that is through 3 papers. HUQP 21, which is an MSW paper, HUQP 22, that is sociology, HUQP 20, that is psychology. I have no idea why anybody from psychology background would like to take up this course, but still people have the belief. So I'm not able to count the cutoff in this particular course through psychology, but for these paper codes, this is what I believe, and these are the respective percentiles. Again, for people for sociology, they are mostly master driven courses. They want to go into academia, and their preferred colleges are JNU or DU and the other institutes across India, central universities. So getting into our complete applied science, social science courses like rural management or development should not be those students' dream or aspiration, but still somebody wants to take it. I believe that this should be the cutoff, matching the percentiles. Now coming to Hyderabad campus, there are very limited courses in Hyderabad campus. So Master of Education, They have three different paper codes. I've listed down, so it's a long video maybe. I do not know how long it would go. For gender and development, these are the particular expected cutoff. I'm just mapped last year cutoff and seeing that interview would not be there. So for the interview, they used to call at least 5-6 times. For some courses, at least 8 times the number of students. So the cutoff would definitely slightly increase, but managing it with the lesser marks scored in CUET 12 this year. Anyway, so these are the respected cutoff. You can take a screenshot of it. Now, let's quickly wrap up. Now, policy and governance courses is only being offered at Hyderabad campus. So here is the cutoff. It is again through 3 different paper codes. This is particularly a new course and a self-finance course. It's quite costly as well. 8 to 9 lakhs or 10 lakhs. You can actually check over there. Again, through 3 different paper codes, you can check the cutoff. If you have applied through 3 different paper codes, you can apply, or any of the paper, if you have applied, you can apply and check it. These are my expected percentile, the scores or the cutoff scores. Okay, for Guwahati campus, again, there are very limited courses. I think 2 here and 1 more. Environment and sustainability, they have added many paper codes. These are the expected percentiles. Again, for sociology and anthropology, one of the really good course at TISS. And in Guwahati campus, there is 85% reservation for Northeast people. So they have a different cutoff. So it would be really tough to capture that. But if you are in the score range of these, according to the paper code, you must apply. Now again, few other courses of social work. These are the respected cutoffs. Take a screenshot of it. Make sure, before everything else, again, we are ending up with the cutoff, but few very important things, because you will have to live the course. You will have to drive your whole career with that particular course. So it's quite very important that you go through the detailed syllabus. So go through the TISS website. They have put up the detailed syllabus. They have also mentioned what is expected, the learning outcomes of this particular course, in what part of industry does this course actually helps. You will get a very clear idea about it. Also, every course at TISS is there or designed to serve a social cause, right? It is not just designed randomly to have courses. So go through it and see that if you can relate, or if you like that particular social cause to be served, you can excel very well in the career. Because here is it's not, again I would repeat, it's not an engineering or an MBA course that a flock of people have come and people have scored well. Placement has to be done. There are just 3, 4, 5 days of the placements. Companies have come just to recruit people. They just do the basic hygiene check and they just recruit it. These are social sciences courses. Most of the people do not have the background as well. So these 2 years would be very intensive for the preparation of the knowledge set and the skill set that you have to have. Further, most of the skill set would be learned during the job period also. When you start having your career, when you see and implement things that you have learned. So you have to have that patience and the interest in the particular course, because every year, in numerous calls, messages that you're not liking the course. I thought this is not happening. Placement is not happening. See, placement will happen if you really do well, if you really like the course, if you perform well. Maybe you do not get in the worst situation, maybe you do not get the campus placement, but the TISS definitely has or carries that brand. If you go offline placements, you will have the early entry or the shortlisting benefit of the brand value of TISS. But you will again, when that is given to you, you will have to prove your mettle over there again, because when you are shortlisted for a brand value, a good expectation from the student is already set. So you should at least match that expectation. So that will always happen when you have done justice to the course, curriculum or the subject knowledge. Fine. Now, one very important thing when you put up in the comment section, I want that you guys engage in the comment section, but there is something very important. First is that taking a particular course is about what all you have as of now, what options you have as of now. It also depends on what background you have. It also depends upon how your life choices or your career choices you are thinking. It's just not blindly like, ye course kaisa hai? And answer would be given to you. It would be very vague to answer that. So when you put up in the comment section, make sure that you are giving a detail about your background, what is working in your mind and which course and why you are thinking. Then only I'll be able to help you in detail in the comment section. make sure that we are engaging something or doing a discussion in the comment section that is helping you, that's actually helping you in making the decision with respect to the particular course. If you put some vague comments, it would be very tough to answer that. Again, do not ask something which is already discussed, right? Apart from that, the comment section, we also have our number. You can contact us on our number, but prefer to engage in the comment section. That would help not only you, but to many others. The best thing with the YouTube is that, there is a certain level of, it's not as open as Instagram or Facebook that people can see your profile. There's some level of anonymity is definitely there. Okay. So that is it. Put anything, your query in detail in the comment section. I'll try to address all of your query, but it should be a detailed query. Fine.